Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making money, it's typically in the commodity sectors is what I cover because that's the most undervalued that I can find in the world. So if you like that kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the content, leave comments below on anything. It could be anything. It could be my dog has bad breath. I don't know. Today we're going to go over oil and gas. This is a market update, technical analysis, and I'm just going to give you my opinion on what I'm seeing in the oil and gas sector. I haven't gone over it for a little while, so let's go over it. I can give you my opinion and the things that maybe I would be doing. So here's oil and gas. This is light crude oil, and what I like about this chart is you can see these large up days and then the small pullbacks. The bulls still control this, and today was a small down day as well. So I don't think there's nothing bad here. We still have, the bulls are still in control. The only time you really have to worry is if you see a major sell-off with massive down day, and then you just see it kind of sell off like that. But right now, it looks okay. Nothing too bad. This is the gold to oil ratio. We had this ratio pop up to the upside during that COVID crisis, we'll call it, when they shut down the economy and oil went negative. And what I'm thinking in the future is, will this cause a problem? And not just because the ratio was here, but because the supply side got decimated. And I don't know if that supply side is going to come back very quick. Obviously, prices are coming back because it's signaling that a problem could exist. How big that problem is, I don't know, but we're still at a very cheap ratio. We're at a 1 ounce gold to 26 barrels. I'm not doing anything with my holdings. I am just holding on because the ratio is cheap and the ratio is favorable for oil. So you know what I do? I do nothing. I sit on my hands and do nothing. So here's Contango oil and gas. Yeah, it's bearish engulfing. We are pulling back some. Where will this thing bottom? Not exactly sure yet. But I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just holding on. SM Energy, same thing. This thing's ultra strong. We got a little bit of a pullback, a down 4% day. Again, I'm not doing anything. It looks good. Centennial Development Resources. I think this one had, like, they were doing something with their debt refinancing. I think it actually ended a little bit lower than this. But I'm not going to do anything with it. I own this. I've owned it since, I don't know, somewhere back here. And I'm just going to sit on it, sit on my hands, and do nothing. QEP, same thing. Little bit of a pullback, 4%. I mean, that's little for these volatile guys. But still, it's a good company. Even if Fang buys them out, I'm still going to hold it. We've got Callon Petroleum. That's pretty strong today in comparison to everything else. So that's looking mightily strong. GTE, again, I'm not doing anything with it. We're still in an uptrend. The 50 days crossing the 200-day. Everything looks intact. If oil goes up, perhaps GTE goes up. Tellurian, I mean, this looks a little bit bearish. We've got these big down days and then not as much of a movement up. So maybe we pull back, maybe we come back to somewhere in here. But again, I'm not doing anything with my investment. I'm just holding on. I wouldn't be a buyer here either, though. Southwestern Energy, that looks good. I saw natural gas had some strength. So that's looking fantastic. We've got a nice big up day and then small little pullback. So this could go potentially higher. Antero Resources looks excellent. We've got a nice big up day and then the small little pullback. That typically means we want to go to the upside. Whenever you have these large up days like this, these big candlesticks where you can move very quickly in a short distance, a short period of time, has a lot of velocity and momentum to the upside. And then you just see all these little pullbacks. It means that we're still going to continue to go higher. It's a signature trait. And you can just see this over and over. Big move up, small little down days. Big move up, small down days. Big move up, small down days. You see that pattern? It's just stair-stepping higher. It's looking good. Crew Energy exhibiting the same thing as Antero Resources with the big moves up and then the small pullbacks, the stair-stepping pattern. Africa Oil, same thing. And even if this does pull back, I wouldn't be worried. We got the 50-day crossing the 200. Everything looks pretty good. We have large up days. The down days are a lot smaller. Looks fantastic. Trillion Energy, now this thing got ahead of itself. I mean, this thing launched. Whenever you have a vertical move from like 8 cents to 40-something cents, this is going to pull back some. Be patient. It could pull back even further. I'll let you know when this thing kind of bottoms out. Reconnaissance energy, again, it looks like we've got some resistance here. We'll see what happens. If oil goes up, perhaps this thing goes up. If oil goes down, this thing goes down. I mean, that's kind of simplistic. And if the overall market tanks, like the composite, it could not composite, but the NASDAQ composite. When if that thing rolls over and it takes oil with it, maybe it takes a couple of these things with it. I would be a buyer if this thing rolls back over and comes back here. I would be that's me. That's what I'm looking to do. Tetra Technologies, an oil service company, big move to the upside and not much of a pullback. This thing still looks fantastic to me. Transocean, it's gapping a little bit. It's a bearish engulfing dark cloud cover. It may come back and pull back a little bit. That's what I see. But overall, I mean, this entire sector looks pretty strong. If oil falls out, if oil comes back, obviously these guys they're all going to pull back. But right now they look fine for the majority of them. I mean, outside of some that might have got ahead of themselves, like Trillion Energy. So you might see a little bit further pullback in that one. But everything else looks pretty good. Looks pretty solid. I wouldn't worry about Centennial Development. If you own it, I'm not selling a single share here. The ratio, too cheap. The opportunities, too big. And whenever you have that, trying to time this stuff, I don't want to mess with it. I just want it to leave it in there and grow. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And I appreciate you guys listening. This is Finding Value.